Well, good afternoon, Nashville. How we doing? We are going to kick it up a little bit and have a good time in Nashville. So without further ado, let's get clapping here in a second. Are you ready? Put those forks and spoons down. And everybody, let's go. We're going to have a great time tonight. And yet today we're going to learn so much. All right. We're going to keep our compass flowing. Let's start to look forward and check out the tech scene of 2014. I want to welcome everyone this afternoon. In addition, we are live streaming this to several countries right now. So everyone, give a quick howdy to everyone joining us. Howdy! So let's kick it up a little bit. I have the opportunity to write with some amazing people. And just to highlight a couple things that I've been working on in the last few months, I've just published the second version of Android Bootcamp. We're also right now busy with Jessica Minnick and I. Give her a howdy there. We're working right now on the new Dreamweaver Creative Cloud. And Stephen Freund's out there real quick. Could you all say happy birthday to him today? They're going to sing. Love it. You know, the tech scene of 2014 is really all about change. And really, there's a new way of doing things. I always think personally that technology can improve any process that you do. But I'm not sure that's totally correct. Well, let's check it out.
Emma. Huh?
Come on, Emma.
Emma.
Always a better way with technology.
Emma.
Okay, maybe there's not a better way to do everything, but maybe so. You know, I think it's kind of fallen to my camp that I am supposed to come up with a catchphrase of some of our national conferences. And last year, you know, we had one, we wooted it up. Do y'all remember, some of you? But we are in Nashville this year, so I'm going to go ahead and make the 19th annual Cengage conference statement. In the South, we often say, oh yeah. So if you see anything cool this week in any workshop, I want you to hear the big, oh yeah. So let's practice real quick. If you see something cool, what should you do? Oh yeah. And most of you might even remember the most famous, oh yeah. So gentlemen, you know what to do. Let me try one more time. What are you supposed to do? Oh yeah. You know, if you are finished eating, I want everyone to take your chairs, turn this way, take a moment to get comfortable, and also please pull out any technology that you have with you. So if you have a smartphone, iPhone, Android, iPad, PC, Mac, in fact, when you pull it out, open up a browser, and I just want everyone to check in to see where everyone is coming from in our audience this afternoon. And if you are online with us as well, feel free to join us. So if you would, open a browser, head to padlet.com/wall/Cengage Brain. So I'll leave that up there for a second, just so you know what we're using. A lot of you have used it before, but Padlet is a free and fabulous technology that allows your students on any device, cross-platform, to engage in classroom activities. They can put up quotes, text, whatever. When you're able to get to this site, and let me read it one more time for you, it's padlet.com/wall/Cengage Brain. When you get to this site, I want everyone to put up your first and last name, where you're coming from today, And if you'd like to take a selfie, do you all know what a selfie is, right? But an important point here, if you see someone trying to take a selfie, do you also understand the new term photobomb? So everybody start taking pictures. All you have to do is double tap on the screen, begin typing. If you want to take a picture, you can hit this up arrow in the center, and you will be able to take a picture as well. So welcome Glenda Hall and Mark Orr and Kelly Barnes to the house. Jennifer and Bubba, all right. Scott Klein and Jessica and Renee out there. So we're seeing everybody. Mark, great picture. Keep posting. Carmen, thanks for joining us today. And Amy from Alabama and Leslie Price. So everybody all over the place, let's join in and connect with the latest, greatest technologies of 2014. Check this out. What do you think of using this in the classroom? What are you supposed to say? Very nice. Keep adding to the list right here. So again, you could use this technology. Just go to Padlet.com, create a free and fabulous site. You are allowed 10,000 entries on a page. Don't think you'll run out anytime soon. So we can see where everyone's coming from. We'll come back to this a little bit later to see what you've continued to post right here. And if you click on one of the pictures, you can actually make it larger like this on your screen. Good selfie. No one photobombed them. I'm so disappointed. But we can see names and see all the people that are joining us today. We already have a couple hundred posting up on the screen right here. So let's take a look at some of the things that we can do with this new technology that's available today. The folks at Cengage have offered our audience something, so I want to make sure you take full advantage of it. While you have your devices out, if you are part of the Twitterverse, our Twitter world, head to twitter.com, and during our presentation today, we're going to be handing out 3 Amazon $50 gift cards. How do you win one? Well, in your bag that you got at the beginning of the conference earlier today or yesterday, did you get something that looks like this? This is a new product. What happened was there's some great computer concepts products out there already. Discovering Computer, there's Emerge, many others. But I have to tell you, for our school, we don't have a lot of time to cover computer concepts. So instead of having a thicker or more in-depth product, they asked me to take the SAM concepts, all the different things about networking and social media, all the latest and greatest, and make a new book called Technology Now. Been working over the last few months in it. So if you would like to look through this real quickly, go to your Twitter account, and if you mention at Sam Tech Now, and at Sam Tech Now is going to be a Twitterverse that I continually update. So you may even want to join our feed, and your students will in this text as well. And they can also include the conference hashtag today of #CTComp14. At the end, we have some people. Lauren is going to watch, thank you, and give out some gift cards at the end. So if you want to say something that you like about the new Technology Now product, pull it out, tweet, and we'll make sure we get you all those gift cards at the end. You know, what we're seeing out there today is there's so much change. I think Marissa Meyer, and as a woman myself in technology, I really am amazed by her leadership at Yahoo. And she made a comment recently that this is the year of the tipping point. And what she meant by this is that finally technology has made it to the masses. People feel comfortable with smartphones now. People all now are beginning to be a part of social media. It's not just the early adopters anymore. And here we are at this tipping point that now technology can take place in our daily lives, not just for us as super geeks in the room, but also as regular people today. Now, before they take away the bread at your tables, make sure you save a little piece because you may need breadcrumbs back to your hotel room, correct? Anyone else having trouble? Do you know there are 2,881 rooms at this hotel? And it is the largest hotel in the United States that doesn't have a casino. So, kind of big. You know, speaking about these geeks, Marissa Meyer said, geeks are people who love something so much that all the details matter. Isn't that the truth? I think what a lot of us like is to get engaged in those details, teach those details. But what we're seeing today is there's so many terms showing up at us at the exact same time. So what I'd like to do over the next hour together is I've created a slideshow that I want you to download for your classes this next year. You'll be able to go to the Cengage website, download this, and use all my pieces and parts as the beginning activity for your classes. So I've got you set up that there are over 30 different activities, so I better get started. So what do I mean by this? I do something in my class called a bell ringer activity. And what is a bell ringer activity? So often our classes start like this. Okay, sit, books out, turn on the computers. No, you cannot use the bathroom again. Yeah, I know you have a note from your mother. Okay, everybody, page 73, come on, let's get going. Instead of doing that, let me show you another way to start your classes. I call it a bell ringer, although obviously most of us at college, if you're still hearing bells, there's a bigger problem than we're discussing today. But I call it that initial activity, and I often show new technology, new ways to get your students engaged. Let me give you an example. Hey class, as you can see on the board up here, there's where you open your books and get started. But do you all remember the three little pigs? Who remembers the three little pigs in the room? Yeah? Okay, everybody, who was the bad guy? Big Bad Wolf. And what did the Big Bad Wolf do? Tell your neighbor. He huffed and he puffed until what happened? Well, I welcome you today. Because of social media today, hashtags galore, Facebook postings, even Pinterest, social media is changing our world in 2014. I introduce to you the three little pigs of 2014.
Little pig.
They're arresting the pigs.
Taken into custody, so the spotlight is once again shone on the grey area of homeowners' rights to protect their properties.
This isn't right. The three little pigs are the victims.
Put down two houses. Look at what you did.
But the pigs went too far.
Everyone would want their voice heard.
Boiling someone alive hardly constitutes reasonable
He's going to
force.
break the law and intrude on you.
Can't protect yourself in your own home.
A man's home is his castle.
If someone tried to blow my house down, I'd do the same.
I knew the wolf. There's no way he could have blown down those houses. He had asthma.
The wolf had asthma.
YouTube
What's the truth about the
conspiracy
houses being blown
theories?
down? Inside job.
There's no reason why those two houses, one made from straw, the other from wood, should have collapsed. Not even a healthy wolf's huff and puff could bring them down.
Simulations?
Three little pigs have confessed to conspiring to commit insurance fraud, framing the wolf in an attempt to cover their tracks. Their motive was financial, as they struggled to keep up with their mortgage repayments.
Guilty. I can empathise with the
I've got hand on my payments too. I
How could this have happened?
just lost everything.
Wake up and smell the bacon, people! Let's get started, class. I captured their attention, maybe just for a moment, but maybe, just maybe, I'll keep it. You know, I think what we need is there's so many great things happening in 2014. We need to maybe get our students engaged. You know, what we're really seeing in this world where you can Google anything, it's not about facts, it's not about memorization, it's getting the students to think. Be creative are the vital skills we need today in any business. So how can we get those juices started? Well, for example, one of the newest buzzwords in 2014 is called the Internet of Things. You see, what do you mean, Internet of Things? Well, if you've listened to any media source this year, I bet you've heard it.
What is the Internet of Things? Well, the Internet of Things really... The Internet of Things.
Internet of Things. Internet of Things can be...
One second.
So everybody's talking about the Internet of Things.
All about the Internet of Things. You know, this is the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things.
Internet of Things, right?
Internet of Things now. And so
There's also the Internet of Things. What
Internet of Things as another potential trend for 2014.
Oh, I don't know. That's, this Internet of Things, this Internet of people, like...
Beginning of a very huge opportunity for this Internet of Things.
Some are calling the Internet of Things.
Internet of Things.
Sorry, is there a natural limit to the Internet of Things? Right now, it seems like the sky's the limit.
We're going to look back in 5 years and say 2014 was really the year of the Internet of Things.
Well, I guess we better know what that is. In fact, you're going to start seeing some of the terms we're about to go over in all of your textbooks. And I don't care what technology class that you teach, I think we should take the first couple minutes of class and always share something that's new, updated, to get those creative and that thinking process started. So what is this Internet of Things? We're starting to see this boom this year. By 2020, 50 billion objects will be connected to the Internet. It could be a smart refrigerator. It could be the new Google Nest. They purchased it as well. You might even see Fitbits and all these different things that work with the Internet. So how is this happening? We're starting to see new apps, new opportunities for our students. Can you imagine if your students would write a few of these?
Here's your story, let's begin. The world is fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before you.
I'd like that.
Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive?
Not a good choice.
Could be larger than life, bigger than the world. Living out the hopes and dreams of every boy.
Oh, don't drink that milk. Better than the sniff test? And immediately she gets a notification to buy new milk. So the Internet of Things kind of ties this all together. We're seeing within this realm that our TVs are getting even smarter. With augmented reality, this new technology called in-air, well, let me show you. It takes the space between your TV and you, well, check it out.
On a 3D television. We call it augmented television. In-air seamlessly accesses internet content related to the program being watched and virtually places this information in layers in front of the TV in a dynamic manner. In-air works with any 3D TV and any 2D standard television. When in-air is activated in 3D mode, layers of internet content appear to be positioned in front of the screen and can be dynamically manipulated by the viewer.
So this will change. Can you imagine this in education? We could be showing something in class and it could come out at them. They could manipulate it. I need to see one day Sam in air. Do you hear me? Write that down. Okay. You know, what we're seeing with this is new 4K televisions. You say, Corinne, please, I'm teaching networking. What does this have to do with anything? This is the realm of technology, and it has everything to do with what we teach today. What does 4K simply mean? It is now going to be 4 times what we saw with HDMI, typically with 1.0. And now you're going to see 60 frames per second. We're going to see TVs that are out there, that are curved, connected, And all of that will be out and available by fall this year. Ladies, be careful. Your husbands will do this at home. I seem to come home from any course technology conference and my TV has grown by 2 inches. I'm convinced. I swear it was this big, it's now bigger. He doesn't know it, but there's a red X on the back of this TV this week. I hope he's not listening. I'm making sure the red X is still there, that it did not grow while I was gone. We're seeing so many new, exciting things to connect with everyone. You know, it's time to move forward in 2014. Although it's easy to kind of look at the past and stay rooted there. Check it out.
Look at this. The numbers, they keep getting bigger and bigger.
The clicks are off the charts.
Yeah.
Yoshi, it's Walter. We're back.
We're back, everybody. We're back. We need more trucks? More trees?
Hey, take a look at wood pole.
Everything you got a wood pole right now.
Encyclopedias?
He really loves that thing.
Well, okay. You know, what we're seeing with this is we're trying to find all the new technologies that are hitting out there. For example, wearables. You know, we're seeing devices that are changing things. One of the hottest items in 2014 is a new video attachment that's a wearable called an Oculus Rift. Everybody say it at your table. We got to practice. Oculus Rift. And before I even show you, you're going to definitely want to say, oh yeah. So let's get it over with. Oh, yeah. So it is an immersive experience. The Oculus Rift is going to be paired with video games. And as you wear it, you get this 3D, fully immersive experience. Now, what they did at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas in 2014 is they allowed people to try it on. And because it's so immersive, well, let me explain. This gentleman has not been drinking.
He's over here. He's over here. Thank you.
Okay, so if you put these on, you could actually figure out the layout of Opryland Hotel. Sooner or later. You know, we're seeing wearables explode. I've seen people out here. Who's wearing a Galaxy Gear today? I saw a few walk by. We're seeing those out and about. The new Sony smartwatch, the Spot, Fitbit Force, the new iWatch is still coming out later this year. I always find wearables kind of interesting though. What's the one thing that most young people don't wear anymore? But yet, we'll have to see how that goes. But not only watches with wearables are coming out in 2014, of course we've all seen the Google Glasses. And being part of Glass to take pictures, record videos, get directions, send a message, phone calls, Google Plus Hangouts, and of course Google. But how can we teach with them? We've seen them kind of show up and they kind of have that neat, cool factor. But what would we really do with them? Well, I've got to show you. I've actually got to meet this gentleman. He is using this to teach online. How many of us teach online? Then you're going to have to go back and ask for Google Glasses because you have to do this. Check this out.
I think it's back here. There it is. Would have been cool to be an astronaut. My name is Andrew Van Heuvel. I'm a physics teacher from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Through college, I was embarrassed to tell people that I wanted to be an astronaut. It's like I want to be a princess who rides horses while being a police officer or something like that. It's just like, it's ridiculous. I found my passion in teaching. Can you say conservation of angular momentum? I'm what you'd call a non-traditional teacher. I teach primarily online for students whose schools can't offer advanced physics courses. To be a Glass Explorer means I get to tie together all the things that are most engaging about learning, you know, making every moment a teachable moment. The first thing I'm planning to do with Glass is take students with me on a virtual field trip as I go to CERN in Switzerland. I'm excited to be here.
The Super Collider.
All right, here we go. Holy cow! Wow. Okay, I'm gonna try to get my brother's class in on this. Okay, Glass. Hang out with Ryan's class.
Look at the excitement on the faces of the students.
Welcome to CERN. We made it. We're here. This is the CMS. This is one of the most complex machines ever made. Wow. Very excited. If we want to see back to the very beginning of the universe, the only way we can do that is with a beautiful machine like this. This tunnel's 27 kilometers long.
Fewer people have ridden a bike here than have climbed Mount Everest.
Crazy. Does anybody have any questions?
John, how long does it take a proton to travel the whole loop?
How cold do the magnets have to be superconducting?
What is that?
If you added up all the protons in this entire tunnel,
I love their
it would fit into
excitement.
the space of just one single grain of sand. We can say goodbye to our trusty bike here. Bye. Thank you, Steve and Freddie. It's been a pleasure. All right, I'll see you guys when I get back in Michigan. Even though I may never go to space, I still feel like I got a chance to be an explorer here at CERN. It's unbelievable. And you know, while I wasn't wearing a spacesuit, at least I got to wear a hard hat and glass. Woohoo! Dude, this is amazing.
Give that an oh yeah. We need these. You know, I think what we're going to see with all these wearables is that history is going to show that all this new mobile technology may be the greatest revolution because it actually is putting the learner in the driver's seat. You know, we've all talked about this week already. We need to get students motivated, integrated, excited. But we've got to put new things out there. You know, I had a chance to play a lot with the Google Glass. In fact, I have a Google Glass Explorer here. David Hensley, come join me. Everybody give David a round of applause. He's from Cincinnati State. So with the Google Glass, something that I didn't understand is that you can actually, once they're turned on, say record 10 seconds ago. So tell us about them right up here.
Okay, guys. Record a video. I'll figure out how to record it while I'm up here. It does everything that video shows and a heck of a lot more, actually. Very excited about the technology. My students in my classroom was just over the moon when I brought it in. We got a news article about us on the local Cincinnati news and everything. So it's just been awesome. And if anybody has been looking at it, I would definitely look at the development page for the people who are creating Android apps for it and everything. It's amazing what they already have out. And it keeps on growing every day. Every day it's like having a new toy. I go out there and look for a new app. So
give them an oh yeah. Hey, anytime you go past David this week, maybe he'll let you try them on.
Yes, I will. Absolutely.
So definitely with that. You can make iOS and Android apps that work now with the Google Glasses that are out there. You know, we're even seeing prescription glasses and reading glasses for those of us over 40. Gotta check it out. We're even seeing socks, people. When it makes it to your feet, you know it's important. We're actually seeing fitness socks that coach users on how to run the correct technique in real time. It goes right to your Android or iOS app called Sensoria Socks. At every turn, we're seeing new and exciting items. We're seeing new 3D printers. And this past week, something exciting happened. The first 3D carbon printers was released. Instead of just printing plastic, we can now print with carbon, so you can actually make fiberglass, all kinds of things. These print anywhere from 30 to 300 millimeters per second now. You can even make yourself a Kevlar vest. Anything that you need, you can actually print now. You know what we're starting to see? There's so many things bursting out in 2014. I want you to take some of these videos and start showing your students the first minute of class. Get them excited. You know, if you don't pick anything up from this conference this week, I hope you remember this. I'm going to have you read this with me, but do me a favor. I went to Hollins University for my graduate degrees, and I have to tell you, if I just say he and not he or she, because it's a girls' school, I think I'd get in big trouble. So when you get to he, also say or she. So everybody remember this, say it with me. Don't limit a child to your own learning, for he or she was born in another time. We're in a situation where our students will grow up wearing Google glasses, cool socks. They'll wear all these wearables. Their TVs will be bigger than their walls at times. We're in a new genre with all of this mobile fangle around. We've even seen drones. I'm sure everyone's seen, you know, the Amazon drone that you can order, and literally within an hour, these drones will,
Hold on tight. I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen.
I remember drones from a while ago.
Faster. If we don't pick up enough speed, we'll never get through.
Get through what?
What movie?
You mean we're going up and out? But this roof is made of glass. It'll shatter in 1,000 pieces. We'll be cut to ribbons. Probably. Hold on, everybody. Here it comes.
So drones have been around for a while. Amazon's just catching on, obviously. So soon, you'll be able to order anything, and maybe it'll fly right to your house.
Mr. Walker, congratulations. Get up, take a look.
Grandpa, our town looks so pretty from up here.
Yeah, look over here, Charlie. I think I see our house.
Wow.
It really looks beautiful.
It does. You know, we're even seeing Rolls-Royce right now. They're designing unmanned cargo ship drones that will take over, no pirates necessary. We'll be able to ship anything, anywhere, just with unmanned cargo ship drones. We're seeing mobile everywhere, and my students are really into mobile. Anything mobile, they really are connect with, they engage with, kind of like this.
You're gorgeous! You two lovebirds look like you could use some help. Give me. All right, press together now. Act like you love him. Pose, pose. Beautiful. Now give me sexy. Delicious. Oh, phone call. Hello, this is Ginger. Je ne parles Italiano. Je ne parles Italiano. Je ne parles Italiano. You'll call him back.
Yeah, I hope she signs up for your online class. What do you think? You know, we have students everywhere who want to connect this way. This year in 2014, the new iPhone 6 will come out. In fact, I want you to know, as of February 13th, that people have already started lining up for it for real. And you're going to find out momentarily that most of them are not coming out till this fall. This would be a great place to hand out student brochures about your educational institution. But you have to be proud they're no longer in their mother's basement playing video games. So I guess we should be very happy about this. What we're seeing is the new iPhone 6, rumored to be an iPhablet in June, is coming out. iPhone Air in September. We're going to see the new iOS 8 come out. And what they're kind of looking at, here's some of the specs on the screen. We're now going to see 3 sizes of the iPhone. And one, do you remember the girl that had the phone up against her head? It's that big. So we're seeing devices like this hit the market very soon. Now, iPhone is not the only ruling entity here. Right now, as far as the world smartphone market, 82% of all smartphone devices are not iPhone. In fact, anyone want to help me? Who owns 82% of the smartphone market today? Yeah, Android does. And I have to tell you, I am buying this one. I already put my pre-order in. On April 11th, hey, that's not very far away, you can get the first Samsung Galaxy S5. And let me tell you a little bit about it. It's going to have a fingerprint reader, but it's also going to have a heart rate monitor on board. So if you're holding it, you'll be able to actually see how fit you are, and as you're running, how you're doing. So we're seeing all these crazy devices show up every which way. Different sizes to fit different needs. Even with the new Android 4.4 KitKat version, we're seeing all kinds of new screens coming out and new ways to use your device in the Android environment. You know, we really need to be alert to what's happening in mobile technologies today. If we're not alert, well, let me show you what can happen.
Can you stand, please?
Take one. Right now.
Much better.
Would you take it?
Hi, there's a patient from upstairs pretending he's a doctor. Just be aware.
Yeah, you really need to get the app, okay? Things are happening at such a great speed. But I want to make you cross over to this thought. With all these new technologies that are happening and the new tech scene of 2014, are classes changing at the same pace? You know, sometimes students sit in there, and I see this happen every once in a while. None of us, though. It's those who didn't come today. They're in their classes the first day saying, this is a CPU. And the first CPU, you know how it goes. This is a mouse. And the students are sitting there going, you've got to be kidding. So what should we do differently? Well, because of all the new technologies that are coming out in 2014, what we're teaching is changing dramatically. Who teaches web design in this room, for example? Let me give you a huge heads up. We used to put a few div tags, lay out some HTML, throw some text in, and ready to roll. That's not how it's done anymore. We're seeing with web design today, because of mobile, that there's now something called the Dreamweaver Creative Cloud. You say, well, I don't teach web design. We need to kind of understand what's happening in all the fields right now. The new Dreamweaver Creative Cloud is a subscription-based cloud. They were doing like CS4, CS5, CS6. There's not a CS7. Now students can actually afford it, and I'm really excited about this. Before, sometimes the educational pricing for students to get the entire Adobe Creative Suite was $800 on up for home computers. Now you can get the entire Adobe Creative Suite, which would include all the different products and InDesign and Dreamweaver and so forth and Muse. So now they can get it for $19.99 per month per student for everything. Not that they have to have it at home, but a lot of students want to touch, do, create. What we're now seeing, though, is mobile design. Do you know that over 50% of all web pages as of this past year are now viewed on some kind of mobile device? And everyone's had a frustrating experience, right? You try to move up and down and the buttons are really over here, and you try to see the menu of that restaurant, but it doesn't open correctly. So now all these businesses all over the world are going, you know what? If 50% of people are viewing it here first, we better point it out and push it out here first. So there's now something called fluid grid layout. What does that really mean? It means as we design a website, we now care about the mobile display, a tablet display, and a desktop display. You say, how does that change how I teach things? Let me show you on my screen right here. I actually have a version of Dreamweaver Creative Cloud open. And as you create a site right here and run it, we want to make sure that the gallery of this Portrait Family Studio fits if it's on a mobile device, or on a tablet size, or on a full desktop. The new term for this is called responsive design. What's it called? So you design a web page that works wherever you happen to display that. If you do this with a regular site, it doesn't work that way. So we want to make sure we start changing how we teach. You say, well, how is that different? The new standard in the mobile design business is that you first design any web page for mobile first. You don't take the desktop page and then pare it down, let's throw stuff off the ship. You actually, the new standard, listen to any web design people of 2014, and they're now saying you start with the mobile, add a piece to add onto the tablet, add a piece to do the full desktop. We can't be teaching students old ways of doing things. They're in a time warp. And by the time they try to get a job, are there jobs in this? Are you kidding? Almost every company is going, we need to redesign how we do things to reach a much broader audience. So now we have, check this out later with Adobe Creative Cloud. Computer programming. I've done programming for quite a long time, and I've seen early on that's all you could do with a computer. Does anybody remember that? And then we went through this lull. People are like, code, how dry is that? But now to come back and see that there's a whole new world to develop for. App development is the name of the game. Throughout the country today, the #1 job in the country is no longer nursing and medical. Whose field has the #1 job, everybody? Say, oh yeah. We do. App development, software developers is the #1 job in our field today. The median pay, not so bad. According to the Department of Labor for the United States, sorry, our Canadian, we love you too, folks, is $93,350. Why are we sitting here, people? Have you checked out your checks? What we're seeing is that students, even though it says a bachelor's degree, a lot of them are more than willing to hire and train more so even after a 2-year degree. We're seeing the top of those languages to be Android just because of the huge audience on board. Are we teaching the things that our students need to do to have jobs today? We've got to re-examine our curriculums. Do you have a major called app development? If it's the #1 growth potential job, maybe we should consider that. If you're in the field of networking, things are changing as well. Everyone, make sure you know the new letters of the day. We went through 802.11n. Oh, that's so yesterday. The new number is 802.11.ac. What we're seeing with the rate, it's about 1,300 megabits per second in comparison to 450. We're going to now see networks that are much faster wirelessly than they even were with coaxial cable and some fiber. We're seeing tech jobs totally change today. You know, I want you to remember this. You're going to get all these slides. I want you to show this to every student that you teach. What it says up here, that the #1 job out there in the STEM job titles today by Business News Daily is a DevOps engineer. You see, what is that? It's a person who understands systems. They can talk to the business people, then to talk to the IT people. They're the people who make that connection. Look at #2 and 3, and these are really all listed. Everything in blue is whose field? Everybody say, oh yeah. These are the top jobs today. There's no nursing listed here anymore. This is our time. But here's what's happening in schools throughout our country. We don't market ourselves well. Our numbers in a lot of our classes, raise your hand if it's true, we've seen a decline in IT majors. But yet clearly, we should have an increase. Kids don't understand the capabilities, the opportunities. We've got to get there on the forefront. We need to get them in middle school and start to have the conversation. What do you want to do? 8 out of 10 of these jobs, and let's face it, if you really look at staff accountant and paralegal, they need a lot of our classes as well. So what we're seeing is students need to work in jobs that look like this.
Write code, then there will ever be supply. And so we all live these very charmed lives. To get the very best people, we try to make the office as awesome
Would
as
your
possible.
students like working here? This is Valve, computer programming and games. That's what they get to do during their break. Google, Microsoft Bellevue.
Fantastic chef.
Free food,
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
free laundry,
snacks.
We don't get
Even
this
places
stuff.
to play and video games and scooters. There's all these kind of interesting things around the office and places where people can play or relax or go to think or play music or be creative.
I went on the Bureau of Labor Statistics for the United States, and there's about a third of the pie that's all the things you would expect. It's, they're working in the government, they're working in typical technology jobs. But then, like the rest of the pie, it was the majority of the pie, just split down into these little teeny slices of every industry imaginable. And what it is, computers are everywhere. You want to work in agriculture? Do you want to work in entertainment? Do you want to work in manufacturing? It's just all over.
Students want to be creative. We've got the field for them.
Here we are, 2013. We all depend on technology.
He's getting his master's degree right now in computer programming. Black Eyed
None of us
Peas.
know how to read and write code.
We're in a world today that we've got to start making the transition. We've got to start telling the great things that are happening. We need to take every one of our classes this week. I want you to go to a workshop that it's not your thing. One of them. Say, why? I want you to step out and see what's happening across the IT market. We need to be generalists in our own field so we can tell students, where should you major? Where can you get a job? Where can you be employed and have a wonderful career? This past year, we've seen so many new technologies hit the market. Even with searching, our students today, when we were young people, we couldn't just grab a device and look up anything. I think students think they're so tech savvy today, but what we're seeing is students who are consumer tech savvy. They know Facebook, they know how to Twitter, they know how to game. But guess what? Bosses today at paying jobs don't really care about that. Can you create a business document? I start my office class with a flyer, people. 15 words and a picture. 15 words and a picture. And I always have a couple students who fail it. Do you know 20% of 18-year-olds today, the only computer they've touched all year long was this one? Nothing against these. But are they understanding how technology is used in the business world? We've seen high schools all over the country say, you know what? We don't need students to use any technologies in the classroom anymore or teach those kind of classes because they know it. Guys, do the students know business technologies? Yes or no? Say it loud. No. They really don't. Have you mentioned it to your administrators lately? I want you to go back and complain. Say, excuse me? I want you to express to the other members of your faculty and staff and your administration. Students are actually, some of them are coming into our class with more diversity but less opportunity because of poverty today. Not every student's able to use these same devices. And unless we start leveling the playing field, making sure everyone understands how technology is used in business, I don't think we're providing them a service. Nowadays, students anywhere can connect. In the last year, every one of our students were able to grab a device and do this. They could type in anything at Google. see new beginnings this year from all over our world in just a click. Type in a couple words
to look at the other worlds of our solar system.
And they're connected.
Our values call upon us to care about the lives of people we will never meet.
We realize the importance of light.
Our course is a course in humanity, in connecting the world around us, making us more human. I know that's what people don't think of technology, humanity.
For my mother.
When you finally get to that point of acceptance, there's nothing more beautiful.
Say my name.
What a great time in this life we've come to. Start using those technologies to excite and engage students today. Make them feel the humanity of what we have the opportunity to use. Guys, I want you to go back to our schools and try new engaging things. Start with a video clip. We're sharing this whole item that you can just show one of the video clips the beginning of each class or online all semester long. There's exactly enough. I want you to start showing that technology isn't about just clicking the mouse, but connecting as well. Well, let's find out how everyone did. I want to see if we have some winners from our little connection with tweeting along the way here. Let's see what we have up on the screen as well. Look up here on our screen. We had over 200 pictures posted. Look at this. Everybody give yourselves a big, oh yeah. So our winners, we're going to tell the hashtags. And please see me afterwards, or if you want to come up right now, if you recognize this. We have Agnes Hall, which we think is Glinda Hall. Are you in the house? We come up and get your $50 gift card. We have Deal Kristen Deal. By the way, Glinda Hall said, like students getting in-start feedback in SAM. We also said that Kristen Deal, love that you are incorporating ethical issues. Thank you so much. All right, and our third and last winner, wish we could have picked everybody. Eric Schmeider, am I saying it right? Do y'all see that? Give him a big woot woot. He said the bottom line and all 30 new, hundreds of features are awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we're going to have a great time tomorrow. I'm going to come back at 1 o'clock, and my flavor is going to change a little bit. We're going to talk about the Microsoft mantra. Aren't you curious when Windows 9's coming? And are they going to turn off Windows 7 soon? I'll have all the answers then. Whoa. Are you concerned? You should be. I close with this. Any sufficiently advanced technology is truly indistinguishable from magic. What we teach is magical. Do your students know the passion that you feel for it? So I want you to head out here, go to some great afternoon sessions, and keep your compass turned to the new tech scene of 2014. Thank you so much.